And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, April 18th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. It's a Thursday. We thank you for joining us. Coleman and Company, live, spontaneous, and unrehearsed, as we say. We welcome you, and we welcome our friends from Bates Ford this morning. Bates Ford at 1780 Franklin Road, right here in Lebanon, Tennessee, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. Paul Tubbs, good morning.
Good morning.
Ronnie Kelly, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. It's nice to see you both. And Paul, I know we got plenty to talk about. We always do.
Yep, we got a lot going on at Bates Ford. We got a lot of inventory. Our new inventory is really in good shape. Our used inventory is in great shape. Of course, one feeds into the other when you get a lot of new vehicles that get you trades where we can actually get them ready, get them on the lot, and we're trying to get that. We got trying to put each used car on about a 3 to 4 day turnaround where when we trade for it, we get it through the shop, get it, make sure everything's good to go, and then we get it detailed and cleaned up and get it out there on the lot ready for Ronnie Kelly to sell.
It takes all that to get the job done.
Yes.
You appreciate having a nice car to sell.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate having a nice car to sell. And like Paul said, we had a lot of new inventory. And on a lot of new inventory, we have a lot of great interest rates. And we have some rebates also. So right now, it's a great time to come in because these interest rates are great right now with Ford.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this last week, the fact that some places you go to borrow money, you're going to pay a little more, quite a bit more the interest than you were a few months or a year or so ago. But you got some great ones there. You don't have to worry about that.
Right. You take a F-150 of 2023, 1.9 for 72 months plus $1,000 rebate. And if you go and finance that vehicle without, having Ford rates, you're probably looking at 8%, 8.5%.
And there's no reason for the interest rates, if your credit's good at all, for you to worry about that. That's not a factor.
That's not a factor. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. That's a great thing.
Well, I know you appreciate that too, Paul.
Yeah, that's one thing. Ford's pretty aggressive on the 23 models. What they're trying to do is get the new model inventory in our, over. So what they do is they put a lot of good rebates, and also they put real good interest rates on the 23 models. So we've got some Explorers, we got some F-150s, we got some Escapes, Edges. So if you're looking for a great deal, that's something we can do.
Well, I guess you really are attracting people from all over Middle Tennessee, aren't you? Especially all of our adjoining counties.
Yeah, that was one thing we were excited just to get out there on the interstate where we get a little bit more exposure. One of the things that, I told Tony, we were talking about service and sales and different things. One of the things in services, our services picked up, and we're doing about 1.5 times what we did at the other store because our facility's so big. But one of the things I was telling him at the other facility is you had Publix, you had Dunkin' Donuts, you had, so if a lot of times people drop the car off, get oil change, and go shop and stuff like that, where, we're kind of the first one over there off Franklin Road. Now, we're going to have a lot of stuff around us and a lot of stuff coming, but, it's gotten where you got to kind of make an effort to get over there, where at the 1673 location, you had a lot of stuff around you, but we're working through it, and we're loving the new facility. We love the lot's a lot bigger. The service department's a lot bigger, so it's actually made it a lot nicer.
Well, another thing that you've started too, and you started this before you moved, but you will come and pick up the car for service. You're really pushing that.
Yeah, we do, and that's a program Ford implemented. It's mobile service and pickup and delivery, and we're very well into it. MJ, several people here at the radio station, we've got their vehicle serviced, bring it back to them. You can call Shelly, she'll schedule it. We do probably 7, 8 a day, just depending on what it is and how it is. But if you'll call over to Bates Ford and get a hold of Shelly Billy, she'll certainly schedule you to get picked up, and we'll service your vehicle and bring it right back to you. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home or your job.
You can even do that and get the cheapest oil change in town.
$39.95 up to 5 quarts.
Yeah. And of course, it wouldn't be a good trip for you out if you didn't mention your tires and batteries.
Yeah, we're heavy on tires. Ford will meet or beat anybody's price. When you buy a set of tires at Bates Ford, we give you lifetime rotation. So when we do tires, that gives us the ability to get the wheels off, look at your brakes, look at everything, make sure everything's in good shape. If there's any needs, we'll give you a call. The batteries right now, $179.95. I said it's the best battery in the market. You get a 3-year free replacement warranty, and then it's got a 100-month proration.
Well, Ronnie, today be a good day for somebody to come visit you.
It'd be a great day to come in to visit us at Bates Ford. And also, Paul mentioned about the pickup delivery service. I have several people that came in on this week, and they have taken advantage of that service. They won't come back in anymore. They have their car picked up, and it's a great thing. So we're doing a great job with that, and we got a great facility for people to sit down and work if they need to do something. And remember, we the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
And you still love that F-150?
Yes, sir. F-150 is the number one selling truck.
Well, hope you have a good day today, a great weekend, and we'll do it again next Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ronnie Kelly.
Thank you.
Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road here in Lebanon. Again, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. We're about 10 minutes after the hour, and here on this Thursday morning, we feature the city of Lebanon. And I depend on Jeff Baines to provide me a guest each third Thursday. And he has done a wonderful job doing that. He is here himself today. Jeff, good morning.
Morning, Coleman. Good morning.
It is nice to see you. Every once in a while, you make it out.
I got to make sure you and MJ are got things on control, so I have to show up.
Do you have to get up a little earlier if you come out here?
I do not.
If, in other words, you're either going to be here or you're going to be at the office.
I'm here a little early. I don't thought it was this early, but I'm up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us who you brought with you today.
Well,
Or
surprise guest, right?
Huh?
Surprise guest. Never been here before, has she? No, here today with our direct flight solutions, our airport day-to-day manager, and just somebody we work great together with. But she manages things, and it's like everything's a Lebanon, growth. Well, airport's no different, So changed a lot in my 30 years here working at the city of Lebanon. Airport has changed a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, Heather Bay.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am fabulous.
What's the what you work with the city? What's the connection here with Jeff?
Yes, sir. The connection is that Direct Flight Solutions is a company that manages and operates the day-to-day operations for the Lebanon Municipal Airport, which is owned by the city of Lebanon. Mm-hmm. And I have the blessing of working side by side in, and I call it a partnership with the city of Lebanon for Direct Flight Solutions team to be the front face of the Welcome Center as you come into the Lebanon Airport. But that also means I get to embrace the safety and the future and the day-to-day grind of what comes through the city's door that's being spoken of or decided for the Lebanon Airport. Now, I'm not the one that's making those decisions, but I do get to be in the room.
There's a decision that was made some time ago that I want to talk about just for a moment this morning. The decision was made. The implementation of it has not totally occurred, but I'm talking about the soccer fields that have been at the airport for all these years are going to be a thing of the past as far as the airport is concerned. Fairly soon, I understand.
Yes, sir. I actually drove past the new site yesterday with my husband. We were headed to Murfreesboro for something, and it appears that the children of this generation that are playing soccer have come a long way from 20 years ago when John McDermott, my husband, and I were coaching soccer to 20 plus years ago, right there beside on the Lebanon Airport property. Mm-hmm. They have grown and they have exceeded the space that they're in by leaps and bounds. Yeah. And I am, as a parent of a soccer child who's grown up and seeing the next generation being embraced by the city is just a magnificent sight for the quality of life for this community. So the city of Lebanon took a leap and a huge investment with that leap, and they've invested a lot of money in the future for the new soccer fields. Many will say improved because there's a lot of lights out there, Jeff. I saw a lot of lights out there when we drove past yesterday. But
you play all night now.
It's pretty awesome because they could, and that's one of the other things, because they were on the airfield, they couldn't play at night.
Yeah, right.
So they restricted to daytime activity. So they're given a lot more space, a lot more amenities, and with that they'll be able to do night operations.
All right, now where are we? Are they playing out there at all yet?
Not yet.
No.
I got to give a quick history because been a long enough health history either Heather than I have, right? So I got to come in. I was a player for T.O. Cragwell, right? T.O. Cragwell is really, for me, the father. Now, there's people probably the AG family back there, but me come to work here, T.O. Cragwell's been a man, right? But he had a vision, came to work in 1990. We sat down and took old maps and started creating a future land acquisition plan, which the airport was probably 100 acres then, now it's 250 acres, for example, over time. All that bought by city money with state grants, all that 75, 25, or 9, 10 money to spend our property to protect our airport. It's about protection and safety, of course. But I can recall the conversation on that property where the soccer fields are now with Mayor Fox. And at that time, it was more about airport perspective, about acquiring property to protect the airport. Well, Don Fox had the vision of, I can get council to support that purchase, but I got to do something with it. Therefore, the soccer fields was the answer because it was growing here in the community. Soccer was that time, no place for it to play. So that worked out great until later on the state folks decided they didn't like soccer fields that close to a runway. So since that time, looking to move it, so opportunity to move the soccer fields now, and so now, that happened with a T.L. Cragwell type, vision to acquire property. Mayor Fox, I'll support that if I can have another use out there. And since it happened, and for years the soccer field folks, I know a lot of them too. I've coached a lot of sports here in towns, too, and they love that, of course, as well. But current status of the fields on 2th and South should be done in June. We'd hoped to be done earlier. It was going to be finished up time in February. A couple of issues out there we worked through, but this fall, go to one there playing soccer at 2th and South.
All right, well, that is good to hear. It is time for us to take a break. We'll be back with more in a moment. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. Get that regular oil change. It's $39.95. Up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal. 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Boy, it's really starting to get heavy now as we check it out live on 24 coming westbound up by Harding Place. All that traffic through the Antioch area in right now from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County as it starts to increase. Also down 65 southbound in Millersville through that stretch of Sumner County. Out in Wilson County, still in good shape right now as it loads up out there. Also on 40 west as traffic leaves Wilson County about Juliet area headed into the Hermitage area. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Middle Tennessee. Check out Tomahawk Crane and Rigging at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. We continue here on this Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Baines with the City of Lebanon. You changed your title.
Commissioner of Public Services. It's the fancy title.
It used to be Public Works.
Yes, sir.
Public Services. All right. Same job, slightly different title.
Right. Just a different city.
And Heather Bay is here, fixed-based operator for the Lebanon Airport, direct flight solutions and all that we've already talked about. What you got a list of things here. What all you want to talk about this morning?
Oh, I just thought I'd make my a list to make sure I reminded everybody of what awesome things we've got going on at the airport right now. We're embedded in a lot of our spring and summer events right now. The Sattler Foundation, which is one of our magnificent hearts of the field, is about to have their aerospace camp for middle school and high schoolers the first week in June, and then they bring in children for a whole week, and they get to learn all about aviation, and they get to learn that you don't have to just be a pilot to be in aviation. They've met astronauts, they've met commercial pilots, they've met engineers, they've met executives. A time or two we've even got them to get to meet some of the organizations that have moved to the airfield, like Vanderbilt Life Flight and their fixed wing operation, or Elite Rotorcraft, who is a video production company that moved here from Chicago so that they could be centrally located. But they fly a really cool helicopter, so the kids really got to see all that was entailed with that. And then
what about flight attendants?
And I'm sure there are probably some of those too. I'm not sure that that's what I don't know what they. I haven't seen their roster for this year, who all they're going to speak with, but there's a heavy. We're deep in planning right now between the Sattler Foundation camps that are coming up and a Warbirds fly-in June 8th. They're the Commemorative Air Force, which is one of the newest nonprofits that are on the field that embraces aviation, and I'll call it museum flying aircraft. They're planning a grand event for June 8th, and we're hoping for the community to come out and really embrace that day.
Are people aware of the airport as much now as they ever was? Maybe more than ever before. I wonder. And sometimes you wonder if it's sort of a secret. But I've lived here, lived in Wilson County all my life. I've always known about the airport a little bit, but I just wonder about that. How well is what you do known?
Well, we have really reached out for about the past 10 years in educating the community, and not just the city of Lebanon, but the county, and we've now reached out regionally to educate everyone as much as possible, between speaking engagements to we've started a recent marketing campaign where we're trying to continuously be in the face of those who might need to utilize the services that the city provides at this facility,
but
or that we provide for the city at the service.
It's a hub of activity, and I mean there's a lot of commercial aspects. Then there are other people, I guess, who have their private planes there who are not in things commercially, but just love to fly. You got all the above.
So we are really blessed to be one of the strongest general aviation airfields in the state of Tennessee, and we have there is various, I'll have to say, various complex elements to make that happen, and the city of Lebanon as the owner has a lot to do with that. And then just like T.O. was saying with the airport commission, there's a lot to do with that. But when you look at the geographic location of the airfield, we're not ever going to be holding a Southwest flight. If we have a Southwest flight, it's not going to fly back out of there. It's going to be taken out apart. So it might come in, but it won't leave, because that's the beauty of what we do, and we do well for the city of Lebanon on this facility, is that we're not selling flights for a commercial airlines. This is a general aviation airfield that's taking care of the day-to-day needs of private aircraft owners.
But where would we be if we didn't have it? It'd be a different city, wouldn't it?
Well, no doubt. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, when I first started to work here in 90s, it was more General Aviation Airport, right? I guess Crocker Road and LoJack were based here, and that was it for corporate, really and truly. Well, now, you terminal building on the west side, that row of hangars, that row was vacant property is now full of corporate type hangars. We're looking at areas now to expand. Thanks to probably about over years, and so it's going to continue to grow like the rest of Lebanon's growing. But you're right, that kind of work is a GA airport with a Crocker Rail and LoJack flying out. So that's it. It's not that anymore.
Well, are you anxious to do something with the property where the soccer's been being played?
We have got 2 other projects that are on the front burners right now. We've not, and they were a little bit ahead of the planning on it. That area has always been kind of a grade. It was never drawn out completely. So there's a couple conceptual designs that are in I'm going to say in a couple different groups' heads that are trying to come together and create where that will go next. But our first emphasis is on the two sites on the east and the west side of the runway that we're focusing on with federal grants at this current time.
Well, I guess over the years, federal grants, maybe state grants too, but federal grants especially have played they played a role in a lot of things, but airports being one of them.
And you're exactly right. A lot of people do not understand that the federal and state grants are what and the partnership with the City of Lebanon is what really allows our airfield to be so magnificent. We've got state and federal funding comes from your aviation fuel tax, and then there's also on that fuel tax, there's also city tax that's collected, so that goes to the City of Lebanon as well. So there's that is I'll call that a user. It's a user tax, is what it is. So those who are using the facility is actually paying the portion for the federal and state, and we have been very blessed in this community to be able to work so well with the Tennessee Department of Transportation Aeronautics Division and be ahead of what we're planning and also side by side with the fund and in front of the funding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Future look good?
Future looks amazing. Yesterday is a perfect example of that. This week has been a great example of that. Between the Jeff, I don't know the exact number, but I know there's about 50 plus departments in the City of Lebanon. We are just one of those departments, and we have worked side by side with so many of them this week to make sure that airfield, between the spring cleaning from the mowing crew coming back to our safety operations that we're working on and our training that we're working on side by side to make sure that we're ahead of the next situation. Between the fire and the police and the dispatch, and between the engineering department has been amazing also. We've got, between drainage projects that I was talking about on the east and the west side, we've got some drainage projects and some dirt moving we need to do for our future. But
I guess you're there every day or nearly every day, Monday through Friday. That's your job. You see the needs. You think about the future, and you certainly want to protect what we have, but you don't want to sit still. We've got to go forward.
You're exactly right. You are, and I've said for many years that the people were coming.
Yeah.
And there's. And it's not just because of the airport. It is because it's not attributed to one single factor. It's what this community offers to anyone who wants to come here. The City of Lebanon chooses to have an airfield, which allows aircraft owners who get transferred to this area to come to Lebanon, see if there's a space for them, which that's seldom these days because we're pretty much at max capacity. But with what the rooftops that we have right now for rent, but we're seeing every direction from 2015 when the last 17 state and federally funded T-hangars were constructed in the state of Tennessee for Lebanon's airport. A lot of that was snowbirds, people who were wanting to retire and be closer to their family, people who were being transferred here, or just somebody who's been here a long time and been on that waiting list.
Oh.
So
the future looks great. Looks bright.
Yes, sir.
You. Okay, and you're going to be here for a while.
God willing.
She's still young. She's still young. She's going to be here for a while.
Well, we've had some growth problems, no question about that. It's one of the biggest things, I guess, the whole city of Lebanon is doing, is dealing with growth. Yeah. And Jeff, you're right there in the middle of all of it, but Heather, you are too, and in sort of a different way. But
yes, sir.
But it sounds like we really have a good report this morning.
Yes, sir, we do. We've got a busy airfield, and I hope everybody's enjoying the view. And come out and see us anytime. We'll let you sit on the porch and watch the planes go by.
Well, there are, on some days, there are really a lot of them that come in and take off. And I guess to you, an airplane's got to be a thing of beauty.
Yes, sir, it is. Airplane or helicopter, either one. We'll embrace them.
All right, we're about in our last minute here. Anything else you want to tell us, Jeff, this morning? Things are running pretty good with you.
Everything's running great, but I just got to brag a minute, right? What is say it's not bragging when you back it up, but Heather, her team, R.T. Bowen, part of my staff was her day-to-day. She worked with him day-to-day, as well as we must want a chairman. We just got a group that works together. Issues come up, we don't fuss and fight about them, we figure out how to solve them, and it's good to work with people that want to make things happen, get things done right, and it's just fun. It makes it fun to have that responsibility. So, I enjoy working with Heather and her team, and we work together. Excellent.
Well, again, you said the new soccer field's probably be opening in June. That's the plan?
Better be playing there after, I think the fall is about it for Labor Day. We better be playing then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll all be looking forward to that, and I want to thank you all for being with us this morning. Jeff Baines, Commissioner of Public Services. And we've had Heather Bay, who's the fixed-based operator for the Lebanon Airport, and Flight Solutions.
Direct Flight Solutions.
Thank you so much. Always good to see you both.
It's a pleasure.
And that is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, and we hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator, plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's got a little bit heavier in the last few minutes on 24 coming westbound out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, up through the Antioch area. As you come through the Mount Juliet area, that's also busy on I-40 going westbound towards Davidson County as that traffic cranks up now on Vietnam Vets right there in Hendersonville, headed towards Conference Drive, moving an accident Gallatin Pike at Madison Boulevard. A 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Middle Tennessee. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The cozy warmth after coming in from a chilly pink-cheeked morning walk. The perfect man cave temperature to kick back and watch the big game. When the weather turns cold, a new Rheem heating system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Feel year-round comfort with a new HVAC system installed by the pros at Randy's Heat and Air. We're the local team you can trust. Call Randy's Heat and Air today at 615-237-3604.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook A.G. & Johnson Realty. A.G. & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
Mostly sunny skies expected through most of the daylight hours today, with a 40% chance of showers and storms possible after 4 o'clock, high near 85. As we head into the overnight, 90% chance of showers and storms, some of which could be severe in Middle Tennessee, low down to around 60, south winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
It's fast, isn't it?
We continue here on a Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company. Thursdays at this time, we talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, and we have members of their wonderful team and staff here with us each week. This morning, I would say the usual two, Jay White and Helene Cash, are with us. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning. And Helene, thanks for my cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main. Their website, www.agandjohnson.com. And that phone number, one we like to give out,
615-444-0909.
All right. I know you got auctions to talk about today, Jay.
We do, Coleman. This Saturday morning, the weather's getting warmer. It's getting green outside. It's a great time to get out and enjoy some of these great spring auctions. But this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, we'll be out on Hartsville Pike, out at 3160 Hartsville Pike. We've got 58 beautiful acres out there to sell. We have a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home out there that's just absolutely immaculate. It lays on just a little over 9 acres of land. It's all brick. Got a 2-car detached garage that also goes with it. It's just just a beautiful, beautiful home. If you're looking for a nice home right close to town, you need to come out and view this. Come out and take a look at it. We expect it to sell at a reasonable price. We've also, along with that, we've got a 2-bedroom house that's also located on a 2-acre tract out there. We'll be selling at the same time. Come out and take a look at it if you need a little smaller home. And also, after we go to sell those, we've got 6 beautiful building lots ranging in size from 12 to 5 acres out there that'll also be selling. They're all septic approved. They all have 3, 4, and 5 bedroom septic approvals on them. So if you're looking to build a nice home close to town, on a nice road with all utilities, come out and be with us. One of these tracts is improved with about a 2-acre lake. It's stocked with fish. If you're interested in something like that, it's got a little dock on it. Just a picturesque piece of property out there on Hartsville Pike that we'll be selling, and that's this Saturday morning.
Sort of studied this a little bit after you left last week. You left me one of the brochures, and this is really it's a great location and some great land there.
It really is. You don't get an opportunity to sell these type of tracts, these larger tracts this close to town very often anymore. It's just a great opportunity if you're looking for some acreage close to Lebanon.
All right.
It will be. And then on the 25th, on Thursday, next Thursday, a week, I guess, from today, we're going over to Gallatin on DeShay Creek, and we're going to sell a nice building lot over there over on DeShay Creek. It's in a nice established area, a lot of nice brick homes around this lot. But they've had this lot for several years and decided to sell it. But if you come out, if you're interested in something over in Sumner County, close to the Gallatin area, come out and be with us there on that next Thursday. And then Saturday the 27th, and we'll talk about it a little more next week, but we'll be out on Canesville Road, just I guess you would say, north of No Rain. It's between here and No Rain.
North of No Rain.
North of No Rain, out on Canesville Road. We've got 27 to 126 acres out there. We're selling in tracts. Got a beautiful farmhouse out there on it. If you're looking for a nice large farmhouse that's in great shape, you need to come out and take a look. Just a picturesque farm. And if you're looking to buy some acreage, out south of town, get on our website, take a look at this. We'll talk about it a lot more next week, but just a great farm out there that we're going to sell. It'll be in 6 tracts. There'll be some larger tracts, so you'll have an opportunity to put together a nice farm out there if you so wish. About 8 or 9 miles out of town, right, which is not as far as it used to be. So, Coleman, we're busy. If you're interested in purchasing something at auction, or if you're interested in having an auction, just feel it's time now. If you can't just put these together overnight. So if you're thinking about maybe selling at auction, in the summer or fall, give us a call. We've got some dates available. We're ready to go to work when you're ready to put us to work.
Okay, Helene, I guess it's your time.
Jay just spoke about what I was going to talk about today.
What you going to talk about?
Was talking about if you're interested in selling at auction, give us a call. That takes a little bit of time. We'll be more than glad to come out and talk to you about the options, about auctions, dates and times, and the availability, and what it takes to put your property in an auction.
Right. Well, you do them well, you do them often, and there's no question that's one great way to get rid of your property, so to speak, if you're wanting to do something else. But it's not the only way.
It's not the only way. If you're looking to buy or sell a property, we have an agent for you. If you're looking to upsize or downsize, we have an agent that can help you. Just give us a call at the office at 615-444-0909. We can help you out. Again, if you're looking for something smaller or larger, if you're looking for some land, we have lots of options for you, and we have an agent that can help you.
And you have a full house of agents, really do. A number of people are affiliated with A.G. & Johnson. A lot of people you know. Some don't do it all the time, but they're still your friends.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that pretty much does it. But you are definitely in the auction business. You've got them from now till probably next November, and a few places that are available for some more.
That's true. So
all right. Well, thanks
come
for
out
being
and be with
us
Saturday morning.
All right.
Thanks,
that is Jay White, Helene Singer Cash, and A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, again located at 728 West Main, right here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Community trusted since 1977. I've asked John Bryan to come out and be my guest this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
I want to, now you're here for the Whip Cracking Rodeo. We'll just say that in the beginning. But before we get into that, there's 2 or 3 things I want to mention this morning.
Let's do it.
First of all, there are 3 of you guys, Tommy, Tick, and you, and each one of you has a distinct role in our community. And I want to talk about Tommy for just a minute here. He was out here with, in fact, I believe all 3 of you have been on my program in the month of April, now that you're here this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unique. We try not to be at the same place at the same time. Yeah. So
Tick came representing the city council. I think it was in April, a few weeks ago. And Tommy was here, though. But Tommy was here to talk about the Lebanon High School Hall of Fame. And there were I guess a half a dozen or so inductees that we talked about that day. He never mentioned himself, so I take it he did.
Well, he had no idea, nor did Brother Tick, myself, or mother, or father, or even his sons had no idea. So,
I just with you being here, I wanted to mention that this morning.
It's a great honor, and it would have been great to have been there for him, but nobody knew. So they kept it such a great secret that no one in the family even knew about it, or we would have been there. But anyway, it's well deserving, and his blood bleeds deep blue, and
it does.
And of course, he's involved in the newspaper business and been a sports writer since he was 16, 17 years old, and he represents Wilson County sports well for all schools. And does that with a non-bias way of his journalistic skills. So, but at the end of the day, he is a Blue Devil, and it's a great honor for him to be inducted into the Blue Devil Hall of Fame. And he played sports at Lebanon, but what he has given back to Lebanon High School all these years is something that. It's going to be hard to top as far as through radio broadcast, through the newspaper, through just being there for the coaches. And over the years, both of his sons played at Lebanon High School in football and in baseball. So just a great honor, and we're just proud of him and glad they recognized his talents.
Well, I'm glad if he's not being here. I mean, I guess we call him on the phone. We don't have time for that this morning, but at least you're here and we can talk about it a little bit and repeat the honor or go over it, congratulate him. And of course, he worked out here on the air at one time. In fact, I hired him.
Yeah, and he blew up the transformer one day. I understand. Yeah,
he was trying.
Yeah.
But each one of you have your own distinct area, let's say, for the city of Lebanon, and you've really done well as a businessman. You were once part of the newspaper thing here, but when you got out of that, you've been into insurance and into banking, and then back into insurance. What are you? You're with Rick Thorne. What are y'all doing now? You're one of our good advertisers.
Yeah, THW Insurance is a locally owned and operated insurance agency, and so we represent a lot of different companies. So we're just not handcuffed to one particular company. And I mainly work in the commercial sector, in business insurance, a lot of life insurance for owners, and buy-sell agreements, things of that nature that you would be familiar with. And but we handle all aspects of the insurance industry. Do a lot of commercial bonds for contractors that may work for a municipality. They'll need to be bonded, so we handle that as well. So I'm still dabbling in the financial end of things, with that with the life insurance and the bonds.
At the top, you and Rick Thorne, I guess,
and Judd Nave.
Yes, right. Okay.
And Judd and Rick's partners in the agency, and so I've been there since 2018.
Yeah.
So time flies when you're having fun. But I guess it's been 6 years or better now. So,
well, in 2 minutes or so we'll be going to a break. Let's whet everybody's appetite here for the Whip Cracking Rodeo.
Well,
which
it's happening.
Really here to talk about.
The Community Foundation has put this thing on for several years, and this is our 15th year. It's a Whip Cracking Rodeo, April 19th and 20th. That's Friday and Saturday night at the James E. Ward Ag Center, the Wilson County Fairgrounds, as everyone knows it. But we've got the rodeo folks coming in, putting on a great show. They do a great job. They have the cowboy prayer. They do the national anthem, do the Pledge of Allegiance. They present the colors in a dramatic way. It's just a great family atmosphere. And I think we're going to be blessed with great weather this year, so we're hoping that we have a great turnout. Tickets are available online at whipcrackingrodeo.com.
I think we should mention Philip Craighead in this because he started this at a time, I think, when the economy was down a little bit and charities needed a helping hand, if my memory's right.
Exactly right. And he passed the torch to us several years ago, and I don't think that he raised the bar really high, and we're still trying to get up to that bar, but it's still successful. We help local charities, local nonprofits, Empower Me Day Camp, Empower Me Center, I think is what it's called now. Southern Stars is another one of the benefactors, and we have Compassionate Hands folks comes out to help us put it on as far as volunteers, and we in turn will bless them a little bit with the proceeds so it's all about the community, giving back to the community, and the Community Foundation board. Sam Hatcher and I serve on that board. I'm not going to name the board because I'll leave someone out, but who can forget Hatcher? And he and I have worked and put these sponsors together. And Pat Lawson from the Community Foundation, he's our liaison with the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and he kind of does the backroom stuff for us on this thing. So we have vendors out there. Kona Ice comes out for the Empower Me mini rodeo on Friday and serves the kids with the Kona Ice products. So it's a great time, and it blesses a lot of people. And if we don't do anything but help those and give those Empower Me kids a great day on Friday, it's worth every penny.
John Bryan is my guest. We got to take a break right here and talk more in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95. Up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still some traffic trying to get in right now from Hermitage as we stare at it live on 40 westbound. Over here at Central Pike, behind it, you just got all the heavy traffic coming in from Wilson County, Mount Juliet area there, in and through Hermitage. 65 still wants to slow down at times southbound in Millersville, coming through that stretch as Sumner County. 24 is picked up now up by the Jolton exit. It's also heavy 24 westbound up through Antioch, coming in from Murfreesboro. Princess Hot Chicken now has new items on a brand new menu. Check them out for yourself today at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane & Crowell. At the offices of Kane & Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane & Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and I got some exciting news for you. Bates Ford's moved into our new location at 1780 Franklin Road. That's right, Bates Ford's at 1780 Franklin Road, just off Hartman Drive and Interstate 40. We've got a much larger selection of vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art double-sized service department. So come see us at 1780 Franklin Road. That's Bates Ford, 615-444-8221. Bates Ford, the dealer will trade for anything that don't eat.
Coleman Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning. And if you turned on a little later, just now coming our way, John Bryan is here. We're talking about, among other things, the whip cracking rodeo. And again, Mayor Philip Craighead started this, the community foundation, and you've taken that over. Philip doesn't have much to do with it anymore, does he?
No. He comes out and participates by buying a ticket or two.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, you mentioned Sam Hatcher a while ago,
right.
And I thought, and I've got to mention this because the two of you are pretty good friends, I think.
Right.
But once upon a time, you were in the newspaper business, and you worked for the Post.
We were heated rivals.
And it was with a Democrat, and you were competing. I mean, it was bad enough in radio competing with newspaper. It's not that you're enemies, but you're competitors.
No, we were enemies. No, we were enemies. Yeah,
pretty fierce. But I think it's ended well. you work together well now.
Yeah, it's been great. Sometimes the Lord opens doors for you that you don't know what you're going to walk through when you get it, and that's what I got with Hatcher. So, but he's a dear friend, and we do a lot of things together, go to church together, and we put this rodeo on together.
Well,
so
you just recently did a roast together.
We roasted him really well.
MC, you don't get much outside publicity about being MC.
I didn't have to roast him because those that were roasting did a great job. So it was a great night, a great event. We raised some great money.
Okay, let's talk about what people can expect and get into a little more detail about the rodeo itself. I mean, most people have a little basic idea what a rodeo is, but you can tell us a little bit more and maybe put a little icing on the cake here as far as the rodeo is concerned.
Well, Friday night, it's a 2-night event. The rodeo gates open at 6, so we'll have parking cars about 5:45. And we open the gates at 6. All the tickets pretty much are pre-sold online. So you can buy them at the door, but bring a debit card or a charge card. We'll have those devices to swipe your cards to get you in.
Really not going to be taking cash?
Well, we can take cash, but
you prefer not to?
But we'd rather not.
Yeah, okay.
In today's times, we'd rather just swipe a card, but we'll always have cash there to make change. Gates open at 6. Show starts at 7. Tickets are $15 a head. Children tickets are discounted at the door. I don't have that in front of me. I think it's $10 a head. Don't hold me to that. We've sold this thing out in years past. Last year, Friday night, it rained on us. We still had probably 1,000 people there. We're undercover. You remember where they used to have the concerts at the fair under that big pavilion,
right?
The horse arena or whatever. So if it is raining, you're not going to watch the show and get wet. You're going to be under that shelter, and the dust is still stirring up under there. It's a great show. It's well done. The rodeo whip cracking rodeo folks that put that thing on. Do a great job. And they're professional. And this is money is at stake. So these rodeo riders come in from all over southeastern United States to compete. So this is where they're at this weekend. Yeah, they're going to be somewhere else next weekend.
And then for a lot of them, this is pretty much their livelihood.
A lot of their income. They probably raise some tobacco, strawberries, or whatever. But they ride horses and broncs on the weekend.
Being at a rodeo, and the announcer, somebody he fell off or whatever, and he didn't do well in that particular trial of whatever was going, and the announcer says that's his pay for tonight.
Yeah.
Which was falling off and busting his hind end.
Yeah. Well, and that happens. You're gonna see a lot of tragedies while you're there too. Luckily, they're all professional and they know what they're doing. And there's some local talent that comes in from Wilson County that rides. So it's pretty neat to watch that. I want to mention our sponsors because without these folks, we couldn't put this thing on. Wilson Bank and Trust is a great partner. They have been our headline sponsor for years. So we thank Wilson Bank and Trust and those folks there. Middle Tennessee Electric, NovaMet, Corky Cross and Rob Gwynn, both State Farm agents. Corky's in Mount Juliet. Rob's right here on West Main Street in Lebanon. They co-sponsor together and do a great job for us. And thank them. This is their second year to be hooked up, and they love the rodeo. Look forward to it each year. You just had Bates Ford out here, and they've been with us since day one. So they're really good about hanging in there with us. Rob Porter, Civil Site Design, LoJack, Boot Barn, TriStar Summit, City of Lebanon, City of Lebanon Gas. Little Joe's Construction Joe Haynes has been a long sponsor of the event. The Quants Club of Lebanon gives us some funds. So, and they in turn come out and participate in the labor part, in the volunteer part. So, Diana Cavender, who's the secretary of that club, heads up our ticket sales. So, at the gate, so she does a great job.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Ronnie Kelly is there and helps us with the gate as well. So we have a good folks represented from Qantas. Capitol Theater, Bob Black. Chick-fil-A helps sponsor our VIP tent. So we have a VIP tent for our sponsors and their families to come by. And then Visionary Design Group. They do a lot of our printing and web work in Watertown. They do a great job for us. So that's our sponsors.
The rodeo itself, I don't know much about rodeos. I mean, I know there's roping and all this that goes on, and they're pretty skilled at that. And, of course, it's a lot of competition. But you have a pretty big variety of acts, don't you?
Oh, yeah. They keep it moving, and from the little they have take a bunch of straw and hay, put it in the arena, and they throw silver dollars in it. And then they let the kids run out and try to find the money. That's really fun to watch. That's a gas. They have the cowgirl and cowboy costume contest, so they'll pick the best dressed from the little ones. And then we got some big cowboys that dress up, and big cowgirls dress up too, but they don't win a prize. But yeah, you've got calf roping, the barrel racing. We have a buggy race when you see the buggies around town that's advertising the event. Well, they'll get behind the horses and they'll pull those things, and the sponsors are named on the buggy. So it's State Farm against Bates Ford or Little Joe's Construction against TriStar Summit. So it's a lot of fun. This year we got a big message board that'll be there that will not only rotate the sponsors' names going, but it does the highlights and I think they do instant replay on that thing. So it should be an added attraction for the event this year.
Well, one of the things you mentioned earlier, you're thinking we're going to have pretty good weather here, but even if not, you're not going to get wet.
Exactly right, and that's the key, and that's a great. We're blessed to have the James E. Ward Ag Center and all its amenities out there, and this arena has been part of it for a long time. And they bring in the bleachers and surround the inner, the dirt track, as I call it. So there's plenty of seating. We've had standing room only before as well. So I'd say get there early and get a good seat and hit yourself up and enjoy the ride.
Now, is it the same? Is it repeated Saturday? The same thing you're going to see Friday?
It is pretty much. It's round 2, so it's a 2-day competition. So you got the first round of events and the second round of events, and then they tally up all the scoring for each event for the riders, and then they win the prize money based on the scores.
If you're really interested in one of the competitors and want to see how, it'd sort of be like seeing your favorite sports team. I mean, they'd be playing 2 nights in a row, so if you want to see all they're doing, you need to come both times.
Exactly right.
Probably most people just do one.
And we got some that are 2-nighters. I mean, there's folks coming in truckloads that pile out, and we'll see them the same ones, 2 nights in a row. But And quite frankly, if you come Friday night and you don't want to come back Saturday night, then something's wrong with you, because it is that engaging. Okay. It's really, if you've never been, and I can't say this is my first rodeo because it's not. This is my third rodeo, but that first year, my jaw dropped. It was just unbelievable how well this thing is put on, and the rodeo folks that put it on know exactly what they're doing. The announcer does the play-by-play, and it's just very entertaining. So if you're looking for something to do on Friday night, the food is great. We got great food vendors, great entertainment. It's family entertainment, and you come out to be with us Friday, April 19th, Saturday, April 20th. If the show starts at 7, get there about 6:30. You should be able to get a seat and come rodeo with us.
All right, and I believe you said the price $15?
$15 for adults, $10 for kids, I believe. Yeah.
All right, and it's easier if you just use a debit and credit card.
Yeah, or go online to www.whipcrackin, that's CRACKIN, no G, rodeo.com, whipcrackinrodeo.com.
Well, John, thanks for being with us this morning, and you and the foundation keep up the good work, and you're certainly helping some nonprofits here with what you do, and we appreciate you being out here to tell us about it.
Thank you for having us. I want to shout out to Hatcher this morning. I don't know if he's up yet, but if he's listening, hey, Sam.
Very good. Well, that's going to do it for Friday. Have a nice weekend, everybody. And wait a minute, I'm sorry. This is Thursday. Join us tomorrow for the Friday edition. I'll get it right after a while. And until tomorrow, I wish you a tremendous day.